Alright guys, to start out I'm using my Anastasia Eye Primer and applying that all over the lid with a small brush. Then I'm going to be going into the Jaclyn Hill palette and taking that transition shade, which is just a really light tan, and buffing that into the crease. Then I'm going with my Huda Beauty Emerald Obsessions. I'm going to take that Hunter Green and packing that into the crease and working it up towards the brow bone, and you kind of want to make this like super opaque because it's like the main color. And then I'm going to be blending that out with the kind of mint green in the palette and just using a fluffy brush to diffuse that. Then I'm going to be dipping right back into the Jaclyn Hill palette and taking that dark green and popping this into the crease and blending it into that hunter green. And then I apparently lost the clip where I cut my crease, but I cut my crease and I blended in some of that mint green on the sides. And then I'm just adding that kind of metallic green into the center of the lids. I'm sorry if that's not super clearish. I don't know how I lost the clips, so yikes. And then I just am blending more of that hunter green on the inner and outer corner and taking that even darker green from the Jaclyn Hill palette and repeating the same steps. Then I'm going to take that hunter green and place it on the lower lash line, and I kind of put a lot of this on and blend it out with the mint green, and that is the eyes done. So moving on to the rest of the makeup, I take that hunter green and a big kind of contour brush and contour my cheeks and my collarbones with the hunter green. I also end up bringing this on the temples and the forehead. I think that's all I do. Yeah, and then I just start going in with a smaller detail brush in the same shade just to define it even more. And I do kind of do this as like a bone structure-ish kind of thing, if that makes any sense. And then I do connect it to my mouth at one point. Yeah, right here. Great. Awesome. Then I'm going into my BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette and taking that purple, and I'm going to create a black eye. So I just take the purple and kind of dot it on where the black eye would be, and I take some of that black and do the same dotting process. And then I'm going to take some of that red, and then I take green, and then I take yellow, which are all the colors of a real bruise. So basically just want to repeat this until you're happy with how the bruise looks / black eye. And then I go in with black and define those lines even further. And then for the teardrops, I just mix some like oil and black pigment, and to create the tears I just kind of blop it on and let it drip down my face so it looks like a real tear. Then I'm taking my Flesh Latex, you can get this at any Halloween store, and the end of a brush to just apply that. And I actually took these twigs right out of my front yard, and I'm just going to glue them on my face. And I do repeat this process with a multitude of things. I take some vines that I bought from Michael's off of like a fake vine plant, and then I also use some of the leaves from that same plant. So I just kind of sporadically glued these where I wanted to. I put some on my neck and on my forehead. I decided to add some leaves. And then to make it look even more deadish, I painted the leaves kind of black, just a wash of black, not like the whole thing. You just want to make them look like they're decaying. For the black paint you see me using here, I'm using my CC body paint palette from Amazon. If you just search like body paint, I think it's one of the first things that come up. And I'm just putting this where the vines are sticking out of my face and using some of the red paint in the palette to also do this. And then I take more of that red and I start painting it onto the leaves to make them look a little bloody. I also add some red to the actual vines and the sticks popping out of my face just to look more realistic. Then I go back in with that bruising method I was using before with the green, black, red, and yellow. Then I decided to stick some more leaves on me. I just feel like I needed more. And then I repeat the whole process over again with the red and the black and the whatever to make it look realistic. Alright, then it's time for the fake blood. I'm using the thick blood. You can get this at a Halloween store as well. And I'm just using a small detail brush to add this to the wounds, and I sporadically put it on my face to give some realism. Then I go ahead and outline my lips with some black eyeshadow, and I diffuse this just a little bit. And then I'm going to be going in with my ColourPop liquid lipstick, and this is in the shade Rouge. It's one of my favorites, you can tell. And I apply that. And before it sets, I take that same brush I was using to apply the black shadow to the lips to diffuse and kind of blend it. And that is pretty much the final look. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you recreate it, please send me pictures. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, loves.